You haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now, let's go. A Whispered Lie. I never thought my life would take such a turn, especially so close to my wedding day. 5 years ago, I met Emma at work. I was 30 and she was 24. Smart, funny, with a magnetic charm that pulled everyone toward her. It wasn't long before our professional relationship turned into something more, and we started dating. I was in love, completely head over heels for her. Emma was everything I had ever wanted in a partner. We moved in together, got engaged, and started planning our future. We were the kind of couple who enjoyed entertaining. Friends would gather at our place every other weekend. We'd host game nights, small dinner parties, or just impromptu get-togethers. It was at one of these gatherings that the world I thought I knew began to crack. Emma's best friend, Sarah, had been drinking more than usual that night. Normally cheerful and bubbly, she seemed different, almost too eager to talk to me, asking personal questions and bringing up random stories from when she and Emma were younger. As the night wore on and the wine flowed freely, Sarah cornered me while Emma was out of the room, refilling drinks. "Hey, Mark, can I tell you something?" Sarah slurred slightly, leaning in close. "Sure," I said, assuming she was about to share some embarrassing story about Emma's college days or maybe give me some wedding advice. "I don't know if I should be telling you this," she began, "but I feel like you should know." My heart skipped a beat. Something in her tone immediately put me on edge. "What's going on?" I asked, my voice steady, though my stomach was already in knots. Sarah hesitated, glancing around to make sure no one was nearby before dropping the bombshell. "Emma slept with 2 guys last month," she whispered. "She's been hiding it from you." I froze. The room seemed to spin for a moment as I tried to process what she had just said. My fiancée. The woman I was supposed to marry in less than a month. The woman I trusted more than anyone else. "That's not possible," I managed to stammer. "Why would she?" Sarah cut me off, her eyes glassy with alcohol, but intense with conviction. "She did. I'm telling you because I think you deserve to know. It happened when she went on that weekend trip with some friends." My mind raced back to that weekend. Emma had gone to visit her old college friends, and I had stayed behind, swamped with work. Nothing had seemed out of the ordinary when she came back. She was her usual cheerful self, and we had gone about our lives as if nothing had changed. But now, hearing this from her closest friend, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. "You're sure?" I asked, though part of me didn't want to hear the answer. Sarah nodded. "I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't want to be the one to tell you, but I couldn't keep quiet anymore. I was in shock. My first instinct was disbelief. This couldn't be true. Emma loved me. We were about to get married. She would never betray me like that. But at the same time, why would Sarah make this up? I spent the rest of the night in a daze, barely able to concentrate on the conversations around me. Emma noticed my distant behavior and asked if everything was all right, but I just brushed it off, telling her I was tired. I couldn't confront her. Not yet. I didn't even know if I believed Sarah. Asterisk asterisk, a week of torment asterisk asterisk. The following week was torture. I couldn't shake the image of Emma with someone else. But I also didn't want to accuse her without any proof. I didn't have the guts to ask her directly. I mean, how you bring up something like that? "Hey, honey, by the way, did you cheat on me right before our wedding?" It didn't help that Sarah wasn't exactly acting like herself either. After spilling the beans, she had become almost distant, avoiding my calls and texts. I figured she was either feeling guilty about telling me or worried about the fallout it might cause. By day 7, I was at my breaking point. I decided I couldn't live in this limbo anymore. I had to know the truth, one way or another. So I called Sarah. The phone rang several times before she picked up. "Hey, Sarah," I began, trying to keep my voice casual despite the anxiety gnawing at me. "I need to talk to you about what you told me the other night." There was a long pause on the other end of the line. "Mark, I really can't talk right now. I'm busy." Her voice was rushed, almost panicked. "Busy." "Sarah, this is important," I said, my frustration building. "You can't just drop something like that on me and then disappear." "I have to go," she said abruptly before hanging up. That's when I knew something was up. Something wasn't adding up, and I wasn't going to let this go. I needed to confront Sarah in person. The meeting. A few days later, I finally managed to corner Sarah. I invited her to meet me at a small cafe, and to my surprise, she agreed. When she arrived, she looked different. Gone was the confident woman who had so eagerly shared her secret with me. Instead, she seemed nervous, fidgeting with her hands as she sat down. "Thanks for meeting me," I said, trying to keep my tone even. "I just need to understand what happened the other night. Why did you tell me what you did?" Sarah avoided my gaze, staring down at her cup of coffee. "I don't know," she mumbled. "I was drunk. I probably shouldn't have said anything." "But you did," I pressed. "And now I need to know if it was the truth." At that, Sarah's eyes welled up with tears. "Mark, I don't know what I was thinking. I was jealous, okay? I was jealous of Emma. She has everything. She has you. And I don't have anyone. I said those things because I wanted to hurt her." "Wait," I said, taken aback. "So it's not true? You made it all up?" Sarah nodded, her tears spilling over. "I'm sorry, Mark. I'm so sorry. I never meant for it to go this far. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't think you'd actually believe me." I sat back in my chair, letting out a breath I didn't realize I had been holding. The relief I felt was overwhelming, but it was quickly followed by anger. How could she do this to me? To Emma? To our relationship? "Do you have any idea what you've put me through?" I asked, my voice shaking. "I've spent the last week questioning everything, wondering if the woman I'm about to marry is cheating on me. All because you were jealous." Sarah sobbed harder. "I'm so sorry. Mark, please forgive me. I don't know what came over me. I was stupid. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to yell at her, tell her how much she had messed things up for no reason. But as I looked at her, sitting there, broken and ashamed, I realized that she had already done enough damage to herself. There was no point in making it worse. The forgiveness. When I got home that night, I sat Emma down and told her everything. I told her about Sarah's confession, her lies, and how it had almost destroyed us. To my surprise, Emma wasn't angry. She was hurt, of course, but she was also understanding. "Mark, I'm sorry you went through that," she said softly, taking my hand. "But I'm glad you trusted me enough to talk to me about it. We can get through this, okay?" I nodded, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. "Yeah, I think we can." We shared a long hug, and I felt the tension that had been building up inside me for days finally begin to fade away. As we pulled apart, I couldn't help but crack a smile. "Hey, at least now I know what to do if anyone tries to come between us," I joked. "I'll just tell them to take a hike." Emma laughed, and for the first time in what felt like forever, things felt normal again. We still had a wedding to plan, and I was ready to focus on that. Whatever had happened with Sarah was in the past, and I was done letting it control my life. Comments from readers. Reader 1. "Man, Sarah, sounds like a nightmare friend. Glad you cleared things up with your wife, though. That could have ended badly." Reader 2. "It's amazing how jealousy can make people do crazy things. Good on you for getting to the bottom of it before it ruined your relationship." Reader 3. "I respect how you handled the situation. Confronting Sarah in person instead of just letting it fester is what saved your marriage. Most people would have let the doubt destroy everything." Reader 4. "You have more patience than me, dude. I would have lost it after a week of thinking my partner was cheating. Props to you for staying level-headed."